A house fire north of downtown turns deadly for some pets. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. Firefighters say they did rescue some animals. I'll tell you what's happening with them coming up.
2 men are in the hospital after a stranger shot at them. Good morning, I'm Alyssa Cole, and coming up, we're going to tell you how you can help police find the man responsible.
And let's look out there with a live cam. It is a cold 36 degrees out there. You're going to need to warm up your car and grab some warm coffee this morning.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning to you. It is Thursday, January 26th.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah, really cold out there. As soon as you step out the door, I mean, you will not forget your jacket. It will hit you right then.
That's right. And you said it might be nice to warm up the vehicle a little bit. Not bad advice, especially if you're taking kiddos off to work or school this morning.
Big, heavy coat, and we've actually cooled down even more so just in the past hour. So your backyard may definitely be freezing even here in town as of right now. Temperature stands at 34 at the airport. Randolph is at freezing. Port SA at 33. So again, like I said, your backyard, you may be freezing here in and around town. A lot of freezing temperatures. Then you factor in the wind on top of that. There's not much of it out there, but with these cold temperatures, it doesn't take much to just add that little bit of a bite to some of these readings. 26 is what it feels like in New Braunfels, 25 Hondo, and 27 right now is the wind chill at Randolph. Got a lot of clear skies, maybe one or two little clouds hanging around here. I saw a few of them coming into work this morning. Mountain cedars on the moderate side, mold is low. Both those went up from the previous day's reading. I would suspect mold is going to be dropping now with this very dry air that we have in place. And of course, the updated count is going to come out in about an hour, hour and a half or so. Temperatures are going to be staying mid 30s throughout the rest of the morning. And then nice warm up, but it's not going to warm up a whole bunch. I mean, we will gain 20 degrees throughout the day, but still it's going to be jacket weather pretty much all day long. 50 at noon. And then a high temperature today is going to make it up to 58. So still 6 degrees below normal. Fantastic looking day. And in that direct sun, you might be able to go without a jacket. You get in the shade and it's like, ooh, it's still pretty chilly out here. Cold again tomorrow morning. And then the difference being we're going to start to see a lot of clouds move on in here. Some rain chances over the weekend, not really a great rain chance, but better it looks like next week. And we are going to be staying for the most part with some January temperatures and then some. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic authorities, Stephen, what is going on?
Not a whole lot over here, Mike. Get a look here at 35. Upper and lower levels look a little busier right now, but if you are just waking up, no need to chug that coffee. Enjoy it and enjoy some tranquility on the roadways if you have to head out the door in the next few moments. It is busier. We're now in the 6 a.m. hour, so of course we can expect to see a lot more folks out there. But the good news is I haven't seen any flashing lights on any of the TransGuide cameras, so things still look calm. So take advantage of the empty roadways while you can. Getting to the map, it's again the same story that we typically see around this time of the day where the roads are busier, but thankfully we're not picking up any big slowdowns just yet. But give that about half an hour or so. When we come back for another traffic update around 6:30, we'll likely see a lot more right around US 90 as well as 35 right there as folks are making their way into the Alamo City. So that's always expected. But the good news is right now there are no incidents that I've seen reported just yet. So just remember to drive safe out there. If your travels are going to take you right here into the Alamo City this early in the morning, that journey from Bernie on I-10 eastbound should be about 24 minutes at this hour, 27 minutes on 281 southbound if you're traveling in from Bulverde. And for our friends in New Braunfels, it's not too awful, 25 minutes on I-35 southbound. So quiet roadways is how we are starting our Thursday morning there at 10 at West Avenue. A few more folks out there getting their morning started. So we're going to watch the roads closely and we'll have those updates coming up in the next few minutes. Mark Stuff.
Thank you, Stephen. A fire just north of downtown has taken a heavy toll on one person. It destroyed that person's home and killed nearly half a dozen pets.
Katrina Weber is live downtown with that story. Katrina, you mentioned earlier that there were some animals that survived. What's happening to them?
Now, San Antonio firefighters told us that animal care services would be taking in those 3 dogs. Now, it's not clear right now if they're just holding on to them for the dog owner or perhaps if they're going to put them up for adoption later. Right now, the dog owner doesn't have a home. The fire, which broke out before 9 last night, caused heavy damage to that person's apartment. It's in the 500 block of West Summit near San Pedro Avenue. Firefighters say there were no people home when it started, but there were 8 dogs in all all inside that apartment. They were able to save only the 3 I mentioned and give them oxygen. The apartment also, again, was left with very heavy damage. Firefighters say it looks like a problem with some electrical wiring may be what caused that fire. It then got down into the floor between those 2 levels of the apartment building, but they say that no one lived in the other 3 units in that immediate area. So right now, just the dog owner is the only one who is looking for a new place to stay. Reporting live downtown, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. Well, police are investigating a shooting that sent 2 men to the hospital last night. It happened outside a bar on the south side near Highway 90.
Alyssa Cole joins us live from downtown. Alyssa, what have you learned about this so far?
Mark, Stephanie, good morning. We have learned that it happened on Frio City Street, just like you mentioned, near Highway 90. It happened outside of a bar in the parking lot. But 2 people, of course, were sent to the hospital from that shooting. We understand that a man, identified police, 1 man in his 30s, he was shot once in the arm, another or in the back, another man in his 50s. Police believe he was about 56 years old. He was shot as well 1 time. Now, there was no life-threatening injuries between the 2 men, and they were taken to a nearby hospital, BAMC. And what police are telling us is that the 56-year-old man was outside of the bar in the parking lot talking to a woman when a stranger, an individual, approached them and pulled the trigger twice. That's how those 2 men were shot. But police are having some issues right now solving this case because when that person took off, they're not sure if that person took off by foot or if they took off in a vehicle, in which vehicle. The bar was open, but there are no cameras inside, so they did not get anything on footage. So if you have any information about this crime, you're encouraged to call San Antonio Police Department's Crime Stopper lines. The information is on our website at ksat.com. Mark, Stephanie.
And top administration with Canyon Lake High School is reassessing its training for all its teachers and staff. They're also alerting parents another teacher may have had an improper relationship with a student. The Comal County Sheriff's Office is investigating Orlando Nauman, who resigned. So far, the Texas Education Agency for TA says a formal investigation is not open since it's reviewing the report it received about him. Now, teachers under investigation have their state teaching certifications flagged on TEA's website.
It will be on their online certificate. So if you go online, you search that individual's name on the TEA website in our online certificate lookup, it will have a flag in red on their certificate that says that they are currently under investigation by the agency.
At the moment, now, the certification has not been flagged. A similar case was reported at Canyon Lake High School earlier this year.
6:08, new fallout over in Virginia from the shooting of a first-grade teacher by her 6-year-old student.
The school superintendent is now out of a job after reports that the school was warned multiple times about the shooter.
Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
Sometimes it's just time for new leadership.
Overnight, Newport News' school superintendent out of a job after a 6-year-old student shot first-grade teacher Abby Zwerner in one of his schools earlier this month.
In the middle of this storm is a 6-year-old little boy. I don't know what was in his head. He took a gun to school and he shot his teacher.
The board citing concerns over a string of recent campus shootings and parents outraged over what they call a pattern of inaction.
Teachers inside the school and admins and staff telling these stories and nobody did anything about it. It's horrible.
That outrage amplified by allegations made by Zwerner's lawyer, accusing the school of missing or ignoring several red flags the day of the shooting.
3 times, school administration was warned by concerned teachers and employees that the boy had a gun on him at the school.
According to her attorney, after Zwerner first reported the boy was making threats, another teacher was tipped off about the boy having a gun, but a search of his backpack came up empty.
The administrator downplayed the report from the teacher and the possibility of a gun, saying, and I quote, "Well, he has little pockets."
Zwerner also claims just minutes before the boy pulled the trigger, school officials refused a request to pat the armed student down, saying teachers should wait the situation out because the school day was almost over.
Zwerner is preparing to sue the school district. As for the superintendent who's been fired, our affiliate WVEC reports he will now receive 2 years of his $250,000 salary. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, New York.
In other news this morning, Meta says it's restoring former President Trump's accounts on Facebook and Instagram in the coming weeks. The decision comes on the heels of a similar move by Twitter and comes just over 2 years after suspending him in the wake of the January 6th Capitol attack. Meta's president said the social media giant feels the risk to the public safety has, in their words, receded. 6:10, 35 degrees.
I'm ABC's Justin Finch. New York Congressman George Santos facing new scrutiny after new campaign finance filings. More on that, and the House Speaker weighs in on Santos's future in the chamber.
Let's look out there with live cam. If you're a fan of cold weather, yay, it's 35 degrees out there, feeling a lot like January. We'll be right back.
Just about 6:15, fresh controversy surrounding New York Congressman George Santos has some critical revisions to his campaign funding documents.
Many on Capitol Hill are raising questions ranging from who loaned Santos campaigns hundreds of thousands to just who is managing the money.
ABC's Justin Finch has a closer look.
Good morning, and more questions and answers stemming from the Santos campaign's amended financial disclosures, which appear to now more complicate than clarify how he and his campaign earn money. All as calls grow on both sides of the aisle and in Santos' own district for him to resign. New York freshman Representative George Santos closing the door on campaign financing questions.
I have no comment for you on that. I have no clue what you're talking about, ma'am.
New campaign disclosures filed Tuesday suggest at least $625,000 Santos marked as self-funded may not be after all. Now, one March 2022 loan for $500,000 and another last October for $125,000 are no longer marked as personal funds from the candidate. And because the revised filings omit the loan's sourcing, interest rates, and due dates, experts say Santos could face campaign finance violations. Adding to questions, the Santos campaign's named treasurer, Thomas Datweiler, is denying any involvement. His lawyer telling ABC News the records were signed under Datweiler's name without his consent, which experts say is illegal. Amid increasing bipartisan calls for Santos to resign, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says Santos' future depends on what the Ethics Committee finds.
If for some way when we go through ethics that he has broken the law, then we will remove him.
And as for stepping down, Santos has said he will only do so when his constituents vote him out. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Okay, time check, almost 6:17.
Time to check back with our Stephen Cavazos.
And it's almost time for folks to head out the door and head to work or drop the kids off at school. Let's get a look and find out what the commute looks like right now, because 281 at San Pedro, really just pretty much a normal shot there, and there at 37 at Houston. A lot of these TransGuide cameras have really just showed that traffic has picked up over the last few minutes or so. But as we get closer to 6:30, which is really that morning rush hour, that's when we'll start to see a lot more slowdowns, and hopefully we won't see as many incidents, but you never know. So we'll just have to drive safe out there. Getting you to our map, it's the same story, guys. A lot of green out there, but a lot of scattered construction. So let's get you in the know before you go. Plan the commute ahead of time. We do have some utility work that takes place here of Northwest Military. Pardon me, I haven't had enough caffeine today. Utility work, again, Northwest Military Highway, that did start earlier in the week and again should wrap tomorrow. So with this weekend, we'll begin at 7 in the morning, should end at 6 in the evening. That's when we will see alternating lane closures in both directions from Loop 1604 to Huebner Road. But again, plan your commute ahead of time. That's just one of the many spots where we will see some road work take place. Scan that QR code. Thank you for bringing that up, directors. On the screen that will take you to our KSAT traffic page, has a full list of all the closures that are current. And I mentioned this yesterday, some of those closures will take us up into March, which is, I mean, we can always expect closures every day, but we're already looking into the future.
Yes, we are. Hey guys, yesterday I was doing a Q&A with some of our viewers on my KSAT Facebook page, and they asked a good question.
Okay.
I want you guys' feedback. They said, how are you guys so darn perky in the morning? So what would you tell them? Because I know what I told them.
Well, yeah, my collection of coffee.
Coffee.
Down here. Here, well,
You got so many.
Well, that was water. This is coffee.
What would you tell
them? You guys keep me on my toes.
Okay.
And it makes it exciting.
Well, I would have to say along those lines. I mean, we do tend to kind of
feed off
each other in commercial breaks and things like that, and that keeps the energy going,
alive.
So.
My answer was a combination of acting and caffeine.
I don't know if it's necessarily acting.
I know, but I mean, we have to be on to a degree, and we've been doing this for a while. Our team's been together for a while now.
Yeah, caffeine
When are we
going to
go to celebrate our anniversary?
Yes.
I mean, because like I always tell people, it's like, nobody cares if you've had didn't sleep well or something wrong. Right. So yes, you have to be on when the camera goes on. But it's the kind of literally the camaraderie around here. We goof around a lot and stuff like that.
Make it easy.
Yeah, that's right. Speaking of events, don't you have a birthday coming up soon?
Oh yeah, I do. Wow, you're great. Yeah, in
Excellent.
about 2 weeks.
That's right.
A little less,
Okay.
and I'll be 34.
All right. So we've ordered something custom from Italy, but it's still got to go through emissions testing. So we'll see if it's roadworthy.
Wow.
Speaking of, it's the bus.
It's the bus.
And 34, 36, 34, that's what the temperature is actually right now. And we're going to be staying in the mid-30s. A lot of clear skies out there. Very, very cold. Stays chilly throughout the day. 58 degrees for a high temperature today. So we're still going to be about 6 degrees below normal.
Ciao, arrivederci, el bosso. No? What's it?
It's parked. It's parked. There you go. There you go.
I know. Sorry. Take it away.
The other thing is, as we look at ourselves in the monitor right now, it is looking at the camera. It's not a mirror image.
No.
That's why Mark can't wave his hand in the right direction.
I was just trying to give him a high five. The other
Okay,
direction.
you want a
There
cute
go.
picture? Look at these two. This is what you need to do this morning.
Aww.
Find a little furry friend and snuggle up. Maverick and Goose cuddling on a cold day. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. And yeah, it's definitely cuddle weather this morning. A lot of clear skies out there. It is gorgeous. And we are at 34 out at the airport, 32 freezing at Randolph, Rio Medina, Hondo. A lot of spots. And then that hint of a breeze out there. Not much, but sure doesn't take much when you have these temperatures down in the 30s to give us a wind chill. Feels like 25 right now at Hondo, 28 Port SA, 27 at Randolph and New Braunfels. Your wind chill right now is at 26 degrees. It's going to stay really nippy all morning long. And like I said, we're not going to warm up all that much. Here's a couple of clouds just kind of streaming past the area. I saw a few of them this morning when I was heading off to work, and there may be one or two as the sun comes up. That'll be about the extent of it. Otherwise, there's really not much going on upstream for us. Off to the east, that's the same storm system. Brought the front through here, gave us some rain a couple of days ago. That's the front that produced the tornadoes around Houston a couple of days ago as well, same day that we got some of the rain. And the same one that produced all of the snow up there in the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and up to the northeast. So that continues to move off that direction. And like I said, upstream, not really that much going on. So we're going to have a lot of sunshine today, one or two of those little clouds hanging around here. And then now this particular computer model does bring in the clouds a little quicker tomorrow morning. We'll start off with clear skies and then cloud up in the afternoon. And excuse me. This also, granted, kind of paints things with a broad brush, but it's indicating a few little sprinkly showers around here on Saturday, overnight tomorrow night into Saturday morning. Not a lot. It's not going to be like it's a washout kind of a day by any stretch, but just sort of a damp day. Some fog to start off on Saturday as well. And then early Sunday, we'll clear out somewhat Sunday. A front comes on through here. Right on the heels of that, more clouds, another rain chance Monday into Tuesday, and then especially by the middle part of next week is going to be our best rain chance around here, and temperatures are definitely going to be staying on the cool side going in through most all of next week. Sunday is going to be the anomaly as far as temperatures. More on that in a second. 50 at noon today, mostly sunny skies. High temperature makes it up to 58. Plenty of sunshine out there. Just a gorgeous day again. Tomorrow, good looking start, but then clouds thicken up throughout the day and a couple little sprinkly showers late tomorrow night into Saturday. Kind of a dampish day on Saturday, not a washout by any means. A lot of sunshine Sunday in the afternoon. Front moves through 70 on Sunday. That's the odd day, if you will, and then just back to the 50s throughout next week with some more rain chances, especially Wednesday.
Thank you, Mike. Right now we're 623, 35 degrees.
Spurs 3-game road trip out west continues. Last night the Silver and Black were in Cali taking on LeBron and the Lakers looking to break their losing streak. So could they come out on top? We're going to have a recap coming up.
6:25, Spurs have been on a losing streak as they continue their West Coast road trip in LA last night to take on the Lakers. Lakers would get one of their stars back, Anthony Davis, who's been out with a broken foot. Silver and Black would hold their own against LA, going to the half with a lead 47-42. Second half, slightly different story. Lakers rally began with LeBron leading the way. They end up beating the Spurs. The final from LA, Lakers win at 113-104. So the Spurs losing streak continues, and they fall to 14-34 on the season, and the path ahead does not get any easier. They've got another game in LA tonight, this time against Kawhi and the Clippers. Tip-off is another late one. 9:30 start here in San Antonio. We have all the highlights for you tomorrow on GMS, or at least we hope they are highlights versus lowlights.
Yes, we do. Time now 6:26 and 35 degrees for now. Are you tired of having to shell out more money for eggs at the grocery store? Well, still ahead on GMSA, we're going to have some great egg alternative options for you.
A fire north of downtown takes a heavy toll on one person. That person lost a home and some beloved pets. I'm Katrina Weber. I'll tell you more about how firefighters think it began.
San Antonio police need your help finding a man responsible for shooting two others outside of a bar on Southside San Antonio. The details coming up next.
And it was supposed to be a fun day at the park. Instead, a woman is now warning others to be aware of their surroundings. We're going to explain.
Outside with live cam this morning, the mid-30s here in town. Much colder, of course, out at the higher elevations of the Texas Hill Country. Mike will wrap up morning lows right now. And yeah, I'm seeing some temperatures down in the 20s. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, January 26th.
All right, good morning. Thanks for joining us. I definitely left a heavier coat option for my daughter. I usually leave the coats out on the chair for this morning, and especially the kids out in the hill country.
Oh yeah, definitely cold this morning, Mike.
Well, even here in town, we've got some freezing readings, and even though it may not be freezing at the particular reporting site in your backyard, it probably is right now. There's a hint of a breeze out there. Beautiful clear skies right now. I mean, it's gorgeous, and sunrise is going to be just fantastic. But at the airport, 34, dew point 29, relatively dry air out there. That little bit of a wind doesn't seem like much, but yeah, that sure does. That just sneaks down the back of your neck, as I always say. 29 Bulverde, freezing Converse, 31 Rio Medina, and 32 right now at Kerrville. Then with that little breeze, look at the wind chill temperatures. 28 Port SA, 26 at New Braunfels, Seguin 28 and 25 is what it feels like right now at Hondo. And mold is on the low side. Mountain Cedar's moderate. Updated count's going to come out in about an hour or so. Both of those numbers went up from the previous day's reading. And this morning, yeah, mostly clear, cold. Couple of just one or two little clouds out there this morning. And we'll have plenty of sunshine throughout the rest of today. It is going to stay on the cool side. Temperatures will be 6 degrees below normal, only in the upper 50s. But a gorgeous, gorgeous day, just like yesterday. Tomorrow, we're going to start off very beautiful and about the same temperatures as yesterday, or excuse me, as today and yesterday, but we'll have increasing clouds throughout the day tomorrow, and then a chance for a couple little sprinkles, some fog starting off Saturday morning, and just kind of dampish throughout the day Saturday with a few little sprinkles here and there. Sunday looks very nice, and it's going to be warmer. That's going to be the warmest day of the next 7. Then we have another front moving on through here, and some more rain chances, actually improving rain chances as we go in toward the middle of next week. Those details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen, been not bad on the roads.
Yeah, it's been pretty average, Mike, I would say. 281 at Encino Rio. It's just one shot, but let's give you a quick look at your morning commute. 281 at Sprucewood, getting busier, and you can see there at US 90 at Couples, we can see the sun just rising a little bit out over the sky there, but thankfully no other issues to report right now. We did have some earlier in the morning, beautiful shot in some of these TransGuide cameras, but you can see that traffic's moving along without any trouble, and that's really what you can expect right now. Just a bit more traffic. 35 and 1604, we're seeing a lot more activity out there, guys, and so when we take you to our map, that's why we are going to see a little bit more of those slowdowns that take place, and it's in those usual spots, as I told you a little bit earlier. 1604 US 90 on the far west side. You can see a little bit of a buildup out there, and that's just average traffic as folks are making their way into maybe the Alamo City. 35, not too bad right now, so I would say you can still take advantage of some quiet roadways, but morning rush is here, so we're just in the beginning of it. We're not even at the thick of it yet, but these roads will get a lot busier as folks get ready to start this Thursday morning. One last look here in town. around 410 there at Loop 13. Kind of a fuzzy shot, but you can see no flashing lights out there. We're going to continue to watch these roads closely and have an update on some of those construction spots that's coming up a little bit later on. Mark?
Stephen, thank you. San Antonio firefighters say an electrical problem may be to blame for an apartment fire that killed nearly half a dozen pets. The dogs were home alone when the fire broke out late last night just north of downtown.
Katrina Weber is live downtown with a live report. Katrina, what about the people who live there? What's next for them?
Well, firefighters told us there was only one person living in that apartment along with 8 dogs. And it seems that that person is getting some immediate help but may need a place to stay long term. Now, that apartment in the 500 block of West Summit near San Pedro Avenue is heavily damaged. Firefighters were able to rescue only 3 dogs from the fire, which broke out before 9 last night. There were 5 other dogs that died. The dog owner was not home at the time. Investigators are looking at some electrical wiring that burned between the 2 floors of the building as the possible cause of the fire. Now, they tell us that no one was living in the 3 other apartments in that immediate area, so no one else is displaced. Reporting live downtown, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. And how did the suspect get away is the question police are asking this morning after a man shot 2 others outside of a bar on the city's south side.
That's right. It happened on Frio City Road near Highway 90 last night. Alyssa Cole joins us live from downtown. Alyssa, what leads are police working with as of this morning?
Yes, good morning, Mark and Stephanie. Right now, the only leads that police have so far is that 2 people were shot and that there were 2 victims out of this situation. Police believe that one of those victims was a 30-year-old man and the other a 56-year-old man. This is what police know so far. The 56-year-old man was in a parking lot outside of that bar in that location talking to a woman when an individual, a stranger, approached him and the woman and fired 2 gunshots. Now, those bullets strike that 56-year-old man. He was shot in the arm once, and the other bullet struck the 30-year-old man in the back once. Now, EMS were able to take those 2 men to BAMC, and they're said to be in a stable condition. They did not suffer life-threatening any injuries, but that bar was open when this incident happened, but there were no cameras. So police are asking you if you know any details about this case. Again, that shooting happened last night around the 9 o'clock hour. They're asking you to contact Crime Stoppers. The information is listed on our website at ksat.com. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Alyssa. A man is in critical condition after he was shot in the head. This happened yesterday afternoon near Poteet-Jordanton Freeway on Southwest Loop 410. Police say a man in his 30s was shot in the head while trying to drive away from a fight. His pickup truck was also hit by gunfire. Investigators believe the man passed out while driving away from the parking lot onto the highway and into oncoming traffic and crashed.
This morning, a Bexar County jail inmate is dead after suffering an apparent medical episode. That's according to BCSO. Yesterday, a cadet was checking cells when they found 53-year-old Daniel Pinkowski lying in a fetal position. Life-saving measures were attempted, but shortly afterwards, he was pronounced dead. The sheriff's office says the man did appear to have self-inflicted wounds from earlier in the day. The medical examiner will determine his exact cause of death. Pinkowski was booked earlier this week and facing a retaliation charge.
The state is about halfway through its witness list in the trial of Andre McDonald. The Air Force major is accused of murdering his wife, Andreen. In court yesterday, a sergeant with the Bexar County Sheriff's Office talked about what was found in McDonald's home the day after Andreen was reported missing. The sergeant told the jury the garage door was damaged, leading deputies to get a search warrant for the home. And that's where the sergeant said that investigators found a trash can full of suspicious items inside.
What did you discover? Clothing, a hammer, a flashlight, papers. I believe there were shoes in there too.
Andre McDonald disappeared in 2019. Several months later, her burned remains were found on private property just over 5 miles from the McDonald home. The sergeant says a wig believed to be hers and a cross tattoo were visible on her remains. The trial continues this morning with a half day of testimony starting at 9 a.m.
A month later, San Antonio police are still looking for the person who robbed a Southwest Side gas station. Take a look. This happened Christmas Day at Oasis gas station on Military Drive West next to Pearsall Park. That's where officers believe this person in the red baseball cap on screen took items from the store and hurt a store employee as he was making his escape. If you know anything that can help detectives, call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP. You could be eligible for a cash reward of up to $5,000.
A quick warning now before this next story. Some viewers may find the details difficult to listen to. A woman is warning others after she had a disturbing experience at McAllister Park.
She says last week she and her partner caught a man touching himself inappropriately on camera. Marissa Rijos was at the park recording a video. When she went back to watch the dance video, she noticed the man in the background just a few feet behind her.
To the ground, like his pants were to the ground. Like, I feel like that's just like next level. To be that comfortable, like what else are you doing and how often, you know, and you're still just out there doing it.
When Rijos noticed what the man was doing, she says the man left. She called police, but they were not able to find him. Now Rijos posted her video online, and she tells us that multiple people have commented that they have also had something uncomfortable happen at the park as well.
Police are telling us they patrol that area several times a day, and they ask anyone who sees something suspicious to please report it.
And we have an update on an elderly woman who is living in a burned out apartment building because she has nowhere else to go.
It's storming that's receiving a lot of outpouring of support from the San Antonio community. We're talking about Mary Lou Sandoval. You may have seen this story the other day. She's been living with her cats in a fourplex that was heavily damaged by fire. That's been for about a week now. Her neighbors moved out, but they are trying to help Mary Lou.
Now they say they have gathered donations and have had 2 agencies reach out, but it's not clear what kind of help they can offer. We have asked the Red Cross if there are any other options and are still waiting to hear back. We will continue to follow this story.
Right now we're at 35 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, egg prices are on the rise. We're going to have some great egg alternatives for you right after the break.
Before treating your chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more, you're not the only one with questions about Botox. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine before they even start, with about 10 minutes of treatment once every 3 months. So ask your doctor if Botox is right for you and if a sample is available.
Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
In a survey, 92% of current users said they wish they talked to their doctor and started Botox sooner. Plus, right now, you may pay $0 for Botox. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Botox.
And welcome back at 6:45. If you've been to the grocery store recently, you may have noticed high egg prices.
So if you're looking for a cheaper workaround for some of your home recipes, we have the top 5 egg alternatives. First on the list, bananas. They're great for using in bread and muffins. Just add half of a ripe banana in place of 1 egg.
Coconut oil is another option. It can be a little pricey, however, it lasts a long time. Just use a 1/4 cup in place of 1 egg.
Next up, try ground flaxseed in lieu of 1 egg. Just mix 1 tablespoon with 3 tablespoons of water and let it sit for just a little while.
How about plain applesauce is an easy substitute for eggs. Just add a 1/4 cup in place of 1 egg.
And finally, heavy cream can also be used as an egg substitute. It can make your baked goods nice and moist and could be a great egg wash alternative as well.
That's right. Time now 6:45, actually 6:46. Let's go ahead and check back with our Stephen Cavazos.
Very helpful tips there, and I have 1 egg left in the fridge. But all right, let's get a look here at TransGuide. If you are maybe making breakfast at home, enjoy it while you can, because traffic's starting to pick up a little bit out there. You could see the sun peeking up over the sky in our TransGuide cameras there, so fantastic shot, but also a pretty busy shot there as more folks are waking up, getting their day started. And this is really what we're going to see right now, are just more of those slowdowns, and that's always expected at this time of day. Just check out US 90. We're starting to see more of that red I showed you earlier build up out there, and that's always a pretty busy spot as folks, again, are making their way into the Alamo City, probably from Castroville. 35 southbound, a little bit past 1604, or outside 1604 in the northeast side. We're also seeing a build up there on both the north and southbound lanes, and anytime an incident pops up out there, it tends to slow people down a lot. But thankfully, there's no major incidents that are being reported right now. I did see a few stalls out there, so just check your vehicles before you get out on the roadway. But again, other than that, traffic's been pretty average for this Thursday morning.
Okay, thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, not too bad.
Not at all. It's a beautiful sunrise taking place there, and I like this picture here. It is the waxing crescent moon, but it says, makes you think of a French bakery. And you know what Monday is, though?
What's Monday?
National Croissant Day.
Oh, fantastic.
I like how you say that.
Croissant.
I mean, most of us just want croissant.
Croissant?
No, I didn't say croissant. But say it again, Mike, and sell it, the French.
No. So anyway, thank you very much for the KSAT
croissant.
The couple of clouds out there right now, just one or two of them. Otherwise, as you can see, the glow of the sunrise off to the east. 28 right now in Valverde, so it's been continuing to drop down right at freezing at Randolph, New Braunfels, Rio Medina, up in the hill country. And again, we've been talking about that little bit of a wind chill out there. So yeah, bundle up, and it's going to warm up nicely. But such a cold start, we are not going to be getting that hot today by any stretch. 40 at 9 o'clock, and then we're going to be up to 50 at noon. Add almost 10 to that, and 58 for a high temperature later on this afternoon. The average normal high temperature this time of year is 64, so we are 6 degrees below normal later on today. Got those couple of clouds out there right now, otherwise just plenty of sunshine throughout the rest of today. And we're going to keep a lot of clear skies around throughout today as well as overnight into tomorrow morning. And then the clouds are going to start to work their way back in here. Now, this particular model brings them in very quickly in the morning. I think we're going to wait about midday, and then we'll see a lot more of these clouds, some high clouds moving in here first of all, then just cloudier skies tomorrow night. And then a couple of sprinkles in the overnight hours. It's not like it's going to be a big rain chance at all, but just some fog, a few sprinkles in the morning on Saturday, and then just kind of a dampish sort of a day with a few sprinkles here and there. And that's as the humidity comes back on into the picture on Saturday, but that's not going to last long because another front's going to move through here and it's going to knock the humidity back down. But notice how it won't be quite as low, so we'll keep enough moisture around going into next week to prevent low temperatures from getting real cold. But with all the clouds hanging around, we're going to be staying only in the mid to low 50s. Sunday is kind of the anomaly. Saturday will be normal high temperature, Sunday on the warm side, and then that front is going to cool us back down. Obviously, we start off very mild on Sunday, but notice the low temperatures are going to be closer to normal going into next week. But what we're looking at next week is a lot of clouds and some rain chances, especially as it's looking right now on Wednesday. 50 at noon today, mostly sunny skies. High temperature, 58, a beautiful day. Jacket's a pretty good idea. Keep it handy because you go from the sunshine into the shade, and it's going to be kind of brisk. Then we go into tomorrow. A lot of sunshine to start off, clear skies. Then clouds move in pretty quickly throughout the day, and we'll have that chance of a few sprinkly showers overnight into Saturday. Some fog to start off Saturday morning is going to be possible as well. More sunshine later Sunday. Warm front comes through, and then plenty of clouds for next week, at least first half of next week, and some rain chances, especially Wednesday.
At least we have those chances there.
Yes, so it's looking encouraging with more of those rain chances a couple of different times, and even beyond that. Yeah.
We'll take it. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. 6:50, 35 degrees.
And here's a look at what's coming up on GMA.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, we are tracking the new Russian strikes overnight on Ukraine's capital, just hours after President Biden announced that we are sending more than 30 tanks. We're live there on the scene. And the massive nursing school fraud uncovered. More than $100 million worth of fake nursing diplomas were sold. We're going to have the latest on that nationwide scheme and those stories and so much more right here on GMA.
And outside with live cam right now, beautiful sunrise in progress on your Thursday morning. Happening today, San Antonio City Council will vote on whether to authorize the use of eminent domain to take over Moses Rose's hideout downtown. It's a story we've been following closely here on KSAT. The bar's on East Houston Street in the way of the new Alamo Visitor Center and Museum. The owner of the bar says the city can take it if they pay the right price. Alamo Trust says the bar rejected multiple offers to buy, including a $3.5 million offer back in December.
And coming up today on GMSA at 9, the San Antonio Queen of Soul is looking for a new queen. Tiffany Huertas is going to share details on an upcoming pageant and how it has changed the lives of women in our community.
Plus, if you're a cheese lover and like to sleep, there's a study being done that you may be interested in, where researchers are studying and how to participate if you are interested. That's coming up today on GMSA at 9.
And time now, 6:55. Let's check back with our Stephen Cavazos.
Well, you know, we got through the morning without any issues, but unfortunately something did pop up within the last few moments or so, according to TxHot. Now, 35 at Martin is not an area of concern, but it's getting busy out there. One of the spots that we're going to have to keep a close eye on throughout Good Morning America, 1604 at Lock and Terra Parkway, those westbound lanes. A crash has been reported out there that's causing a bit of a slowdown. Traffic moving at just 2 miles per hour. People are barely getting on by, to be honest. So just watch out in that direction. But other than that, slowdowns are what you can expect as we get this Thursday morning rolling, Mike.
Beautiful, beautiful start, bud. Boy, it is cold out there. 1 or 2 little wispy clouds and those clear skies. Chilly temperatures, 35 at the airport, and still freezing readings all around, including Randolph as well as Bulverde, down to 28 right now. And then there's a bit of a wind chill out there, so bundle up. You're going to need a jacket most all of the day. Plenty of sunshine around here, and it's going to be cold again tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Stephen.
Thanks.
Thank you, Steph. Hi.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you.
Have a great day,
Thank you.
guys.